Inú mi dùn nígbà tí mo gbóhùn orin wọn. Ara mi yá nígbà tí mo gbóhùn orin wọn. Orí mi wú nígbà tí mo gbóhùn orin wọn o. Àwọn ẹgbẹ́ mi ló ń ṣàríyá, o. Inú mi dùn nígbà tí mo gbóhùn orin wọn. Ara mi yá nígbà tí mo gbóhùn orin wọn. Orí mi wú nígbà tí mo gbóhùn orin wọn o. Àwọn ẹgbẹ́ mi ló ń ṣàríyá. Kórìkótó má pàyà mí lẹ́kún, òrìṣà ewé má pàyà mí lẹ́kún. Kórìkótó má pàyà mí lẹ́kún, òrìṣà ewé má pàyà mí lẹ́kún o. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Iyanifa, also known as Miss Honey Drop. How have you been? Whew. I love Egbe. I'm ọmọ ẹlẹ́gbẹ́. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́gbẹ́ ni mí. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́gbẹ́ ni mí o ọmọ ẹlẹ́gbẹ́ ni mí o ẹni ò lè fẹ́ wa kó jókòó, ọmọ ẹlẹ́gbẹ́ ni mí. Okay. Enough with it. I could go on and on with Egbe songs. I don't know why Egbe song always excites me, but Okay. I'm going to. You already know what we're doing here today. The video is on Egbe Orun, right? So I've made a video on Egbe Orun in the past, but because I've got some additional information, I thought I'll just kind of make another one, an updated one. It never hurts to. But anyway, before I get into the video, you really should be following me if you already are not. What are you waiting for? Come on, press the subscription button and the notification. Why am I tongue-tied? Gosh, I hate when that happens. I hope Mercury retrograde isn't coming. Anyway, whatever. Follow me on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, press the notification button, like, share. Someone just might need this information. All right, don't be stingy. So share with your loved ones. Egbe Orun has a special place in my heart. We've had our rough and tumble, of course, and I think we are good now. We're in a really good place, I would say. Yeah. They've been really good to me since I did my Fide Egbelile years back. Right, so what is Egbe Orun? For those who've never heard the term before, Egbe in Yoruba means group, and Orun means heaven. So Egbe Orun, heavenly group. But it's not quite used in that term. It is mainly used as heavenly mate. So that's what we're going with. Let's just stick with heavenly mate. Psychologically, based on certain books I've read, apart from the one of the Journey of the Souls, there was another book I read sometime. I can't remember the name. But psychologically, when people do QHHT, past life regression, it keeps coming up. That they have like a group of people, like a cluster, a soul bubble, a soul cluster that they're associated with. I did mention it in the previous video, but it just amazes me that even with more research, I find that this is not pertinent to just Black people, because have had conversations where people would tell me that, oh, I think it's just a Black people thing. I'm sorry to disappoint you. It's not, because there are quite a lot of white Caucasian people who have Egbe Orun. It's been proven from my one-on-one encounters, experience as now a practitioner, fully practicing. I've done Fide Egbelile for people. My team of Babalawos and I, of course. Itefa has been done. I've gotten to speak to people on different level from different parts of the world. White, Black, Hispanic, Caribbean, whatever. So I'm not just speaking from a place of what I was taught. Now I'm speaking from a place of personal experience, client-based experience. It is not reserved for just Nigerians or black people or whatever mental notes you've taken in the past. Undo with it. Right. Egbe Orun is a very, very important aspect of our life. And even though people will tell you, oh, we'll separate you from your Egbe Orun. It's impossible to do that. The day you are separated from your soul cluster, your Egbe Orun, technically you've been separated from yourself. It's just impossible. It's the same way you can't be separated from your spirit husband. But I haven't decided yet, but I'm still thinking maybe. If I can cover it in this video, I would. But if not, I would make another video on spirit husband. People's attention span is very short. So, when you're trying to cover quite a lot of stuff, topic, they're distracted. Never mind. But I'll do my best. Keep it brief and as informative as possible, okay? Sorry, before we get into the story, a lot of people keep saying they find it difficult to reach me, leave me a comment and all that kind of stuff. My details, my phone number is in the description column. It's always there. So if at any point you feel like you can't reach me, just go to the description column. You'll find a phone number, you'll find an email there. And then I'm on social media, TikTok, Instagram, which other one? Of course, YouTube. I think those are the three main ones. I'm on Twitter, but X or whatever they call it now. But I don't know. X and I, our spirits don't mix. It's like oil and water. I have tried. I really have tried. And honestly, my husband has tried to get me into loving Twitter, but it's just, I'm trying. Maybe I'll get there someday. So if you have any difficulty, just go to the description column. You will find my details there. If I can, I will leave it at the top of this video. Editing has not been very kind to me, so I don't want to make promises and fail. If for any reason whatsoever you don't find it, just, sorry, crave me the indulgence of just giving this information, because I feel like it keeps coming up over and over again in the comment section. Now that's been addressed, let's get into the video. Egbe Orun originated from the ocean. I feel like I'm rushing through everything. Egbe Orun originated from the ocean. The ocean could not, based on story, follow the story, do not cancel me now. The ocean could not contain Egbe. There were too many of them. And there was also some kind of fiasco. They had some misunderstanding. So some Egbe Orun actually left the ocean and went into the world, the rest of the earth plane, not just in the ocean. I mean, ocean is part of the earth, but you get what I mean. They went into the land, dry land. So they went their separate ways, but they always had an agreement that at one point or the other, they would always come together, they would always meet and all that stuff. So that's why it will sometimes feel as though all Egbe have an aspect of water associated with them, but not all Egbe Orun are associated with water. The same way, not all Omomi are of the ocean. They are always going to be linked, because every water body, even the tap, one way or the other, somehow links back to the ocean. It's a very crazy phenomenon. I think it's one of those things that I'm still trying to wrap my head around, but I mean, what do I know? Anyway, I'm not a plumber. So the Egbe Orun originated from the ocean, but everyone went their separate ways. There are so many Egbe Oruns, so many of them, but Iyalode and Jagunna are the somewhat two most prominent ones. most prominent does not negate the fact that there are other ones that are equally as powerful. There is Egbe Orun, Mariwo, Alara Agbo, Egbe Diogede, Egbe Baluwe, Egbe Orita, Egbe Diroko, Egbe Poyan Janturere. See, there are loads. You can't exhaust the list. It's inexhaustible. There are quite a lot of them. But Iyalode and Jaguno are very powerful. Iyalode is also Koriko too. Kori is Iyalode, Iyalode is Kori. Kori gives children, Kori looks after children. She and Oshun work closely together. Yemoja also work closely with them. All these three Orishas are kind of interwoven in their responsibility. Kori would be found at Orita Mefa. This is where she resides. There are so many Oritas in the Yoruba pantheon and mythology. But she resides at Orita Mefa. And that is where she sends children back to their parents when they're trying to, there is Abiku. There are still Abiku actually. It is not spoken about as much as it used to be back in the days. And I feel like medicine and science has played a huge role in trying to kind of tamper it down. So sometimes when certain things happen, people would just attribute it to health-related conditions or whatever. Or, when they can't find medical diagnosis, they just say, oh, I'm well alone, it's just God. Well, back in the days, when a child is born, Akosejaye is done. Esentaye or Asentaye, depending on what region. Everyone has slight differentiation and pronunciation of these wordings. Akosejaye is what I'll stick with anyway. Is done for children. So when it comes up, and the parent and the Babalawo who has done the divination find out that this child has the tendency of dying within days, months, years of being born, they would do certain stuff. My dear Egbe, there's something called Egbe, then there is Fidiegbe. A lot of people mix these things up, and these are some of the things that I want to try to correct in this video, which I don't think I really mentioned in the previous one. So they will do all those kind of stuff, just so that that child doesn't go back, and then they give the Egbe the child belongs to offerings from time to time, just to appease them, soothe them. So did they allow this child into staying? All right. Whew. I was going to recite an Oduifa, but Oduifas have been messing up my algorithms, so I would sit it out. That's another story entirely. Honestly, YouTube, you're doing me dirty. I didn't realize until a couple of people who are very good with numbers, algorithms, technology called my attention to it. I'm not too tech savvy. I do my best, but it's not my area of expertise. So, I'll sit it out. Let me just leave it. Anyway, the information is more important. There is an order that talks about a child who was going to die, and they had to offer some stuff for the Egbe. That's the one that led to that. There's a song that is associated with it. Ẹ̀yin ẹgbẹ́ mi ibi ẹwà, ẹwà ẹgbẹ́ olówó ibi ẹwà, ẹgbẹ́ ọlọ́lá ibi ẹwà, ẹwà, and so on and so forth. That's Odu is, linked with the song, just to call the Egbe Orun to come and collect their offering, come and visit me, but don't take me away. All right? So it's, you're appealing to them. You are soothing them so that they are still your friends. They recognize you. You recognize them. And there is peace in the land. Oh my gosh. I'm choking on my own saliva now. Okay, so when the parent know this sort of stuff, they kind of deal with it so the child does not die before time, and the abiku is sort of dealt with. Now, there are so many cases where it is difficult to deal with abiku because abiku can take place at any goddamn time. Childhood, teenage, adulthood. Honestly, I'm trying my best not to have a flipping hiccup. Because that's going to create more work for me. I have to get up, get water, and then come back and edit the video. It's long, so I'm not going to do that. Accept me like that. You already know how I can be, guys. Love me like that. So, let me slow down so that it doesn't happen. Okay. I think I'm alright now. I've forgotten what I was saying. But anyway, the parents do this necessary stuff just to make sure their child... Oh, yeah. Abiku can happen at any stage. Some people even die when they're adults. Abiku agba. Some die middle-aged, maybe in like their 40s, 50s. Abiku agba no shiniwo because they became an adult, but they didn't live long enough. So there are so many things that can contribute to that. To be fair, I feel like I want to say two things. I don't know which one to go with. Let me focus on the one I'm already on, and then I'll move to the other stuff that I want to say. Abiku, I think what I need to say is linked. The promises we make to our Egbe Orun before coming into the earth plane can play a whole different kind of role in how long someone lives. Now, I think I'm going to go back to what I wanted to say initially. When we were in the heavenly plane, we made a lot of promises, because some of the things that can cause Egbe to be upset with an individual is broken promises. When you were yet to be born, you and your Egbe made promises to each other. They will keep in touch with you. You would keep in touch with them. You would this, you would that, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes they even give certain people stuff. They would bless them with some things, and you sort of kind of have to pay them back when you get to this place. But of course, when we get here, we have amnesia and we've forgotten everything and we don't remember. You don't remember you said anything. Now, Egbe being cooperative and nice would try to come to you in your dream and like, hey, fella, do you remember what you said you're going to do? Don't forget. But most people, they sleep, they wake up, they forget their dreams. Some remember, they can't make head or tail of it. Some are so young, they don't understand what they're seeing. They can't even tell their parents. Even when they tell their parents, the parents are nonchalant. They don't care. They don't take cognizance of what that child has said. They just, please, we don't believe in such. We believe in the blood of Jesus. The blood of Jesus sets you free. Psalm so and so said so and so. And then you're messed up. And then problem starts to mount. This is where a lot of people start to experience certain things that they can't quite understand, they can't explain. Some of these events are so torturous, you can't even talk about it with anyone, because to talk about it is to sound crazy. You might be seeing your Egbe and you can't understand what you're seeing. You might be having academic challenges and you do not know why or where it's coming from. You could be acting out. This also, it speaks to parents. Pay attention to your children. If you see certain patterns, don't ignore it and just be like, oh, it's just being a child, just being a teenager. No, certain things are triggered by Egbe. All of these tantrums sometimes is just to get your attention in the end of the day. And when the stuff you need to do is done, you start to see certain changes. And I think, we're in November. Mercury retrograde is definitely coming. We might already be in the shadow period, so I don't know, but whatevs. So, yeah, you just pay attention to your children. Speak to them, ask them what they see, and they'll tell you. Children will tell you when you're ready to listen, but if you're not ready to listen, it will be a problem. So if you do the fide egbelele for them, half of the problem will probably be solved. They might also have other issues that are relating to orishas if they are very, very, they have peculiarity associated with the person, you know. So these are things that, as a parent, you need to kind of help them with because they can't navigate it themselves. Um, in a situation where the parent knows that okay, elegbe lomo mi, my child is an elegbe and they need to do this ABC, if you do the things for them as often as possible, it would relieve them of some problems. When it is left undone, the problems mount, things happen, it could lead to death, it could lead to sickness, they could be eating their taboos, they could be having spirit husband, spirit wife issues, they could be getting sexually harassed in their sleep. After a certain age, they might even start having what you call like omor. It's interesting that in my waka, in my, getting to know more and more babalawos, Yaosha, Iyanifa, Egbe Orun, I find that not everybody knows about omor. Everyone knows about okor, but not everybody knows about Omor. In fact, not everybody knows about Yawor, which is very interesting. But these things are as real as it gets. They're as real as day, honestly. You would see them. They would come to you. There are people who can see their spirit husband in person. There are people who can. I don't ask me, because even I don't understand it, but if you tell me you can, I believe you. What do I know? I can't see mine one. I've got one, but I don't physically see this. Well, I've done a lot of separation, so maybe this is why it stays away. Because to you know what, spirit husband is a deep issue. I think I would leave it for another day. So Abiku. Abiku can happen at any time. If you don't look after your children properly, it would eventually happen. And if you hide the information from them, if you've been looking after them spiritually, and then you leave the information out, you don't tell them, and maybe something were to happen to you, or maybe a grandparent that has been doing it for them and they're not aware, it will cause setback. So every time you do it, make sure they are aware. Okay? Now, I think I've covered that. But if I haven't, just ask me questions. I would answer you. I'll do my best. I'm trying not to make promises because you people, you really know how to hold my shit. Okay. Fide egbelele and eru egbe. Fide egbelele is very important. It cannot be overemphasized. And then you would find that ìdálù níṣèlú. Egun ló ń gbowó oríta Òṣogbo, atọ́kùn ló ń gba tìlú Ọ̀yọ́. The thing is, you get to some places, they'll tell you you have to shave your head for your fide egbelele, and you have to be physically present, and they have to put osun and ẹfun on you. Wọ́n á sà ẹ́ lófun. Wọ́n á sà ẹ́ ní ẹfun àti osun. I'm not even going to say that is wrong or right. I just realized that the more you get to, learn Ifa, Orisha related matters, Egbe Orun, from different regions within the Yoruba land, you would now realize that, I originally Yorabuki Okere. You get where you go, I carry you go see say Okere get hunchback all on. So you will find that in some places it's a whole ceremony. In fact, in every place I've encountered Egbe, it's a big event. Like people throw party, and now the cost of Egbe is even running into millions now. Naira, let me be clear. Because by the time you get all the stuff, the materials, and yeah, the stuff you need to do the fide egbelele, a lot of money has been spent, and then you have to do some events, some kind of party. I've seen fide egbelele where the Egbe Orun insisted that the person has to throw a party. In fact, I was the one. Let me tell you the story. So when I did this person's fide egbelele, well, I didn't actually do it myself because obviously I'm in the UK. But it was done by my team of Babalawo in Nigeria. And if I had done it in UK, I'm sure I would have even regretted because the stress no be here. The cost was a lot because the persons Egbe, they are very, very instructive. But then the finances was a bit of a challenge for the person. So I tried to look for ways to, okay, let's look for ways to kind of do something, you know. You do know this is not a full process, but let's do something just to soothe them. It worked for like a month. Oh my. And then Egbe Orun of this person, they got upset and they started taunting her. Then, if to say the word molesting is understatement. She was molested by her own Egbe, and they came with more instructions, very detailed. To her, by the way, they did tell her what they wanted. She sees them in her dream. And for every time she tells me, Iyanifa, this is what I saw my Egbe ask me to do. And then we do Okpele divination. Egbe, Ifa will say yes. Everything she said is true. Everything she saw is exactly what Egbe wants. And I'm like, ha, oh. For every time I do a divination, Ifa will say, Belo, no, lo shere. And I'm like, okay. So what do we do now? She had to look for the money. And then we did a whole ceremony. Egbe told her in her dream that they want her to throw them a party. They want to have people dress up. They want Iyalo days that have done Fide Egbelile to attend the event. They want to be recognized. They want the whole shebang, basically. This video is already running to 27 minutes, and I'm trying my best to cut it. Oh Lord, shadow me. Hey, the pressure is getting worse and worse. Okay. I'll see if I can round up. This is why I said there might be a part 2 because it's a whole lot of stuff to cover. I can't cover everything, and I'm rushing through it. When she did the second Fide Egbelile, things improved so much. That period, I remember she got a job, she got an award, and some other good stuff happened for this person within like a month of doing the Egbe initiation. Whew, it was interesting. I saw different aspects of it. I can't go into all the details because honestly, this is a summary. In fact, this is a drop of what happened. It was a series of events, and they did really showed her a lot of. They gave her tough time, to say the least. But after that, things eased out and improved. You know, so some Egbe, they are very, very fussy. They are insistent. They want it to be done a certain way, and they are not going to take anything lesser than that. Fide Egbelile can be done in your absence, contrary to what a lot of people will say. Yes, it can, and it has been done. It's not mandatory for you to be present. You can be in another country and your Fide Egbelile will be done for you. But like I said, there are some places, mainly places like Oshogbo, Oyo, Oyole, Ogbomosho and environs. They prefer that you are present, physically present. In fact, to them, if you are not physically present, you have not done Fide Egbelile. They have to shave your hair, they have to put us on you. Some people do it for a day, some do 3 days, some do 7 days. I'm like, kila she. Egbe no. Idalu nishelu, what do I know? So everyone, they do it differently. But it just because it is done differently in one part does not mean that this one, they don't know what they're doing. Actually, it all works out well. Me, I just feel like it is where your ori takes you to. Wherever your ori does want your egbe to be done, will take you there. So this method works, this method also works. So I'm not going to say, oh no, it has to be this way or it has to be that way. I think that was kind of like the misunderstanding in the past, but I've come to understand that whether you do it in absentia or you're present, it all works. Trust me, it all works. And I don't feel like you. That's the honest truth. Eregbe is done in cases. Not everybody would do eregbe, but it is done in some place. In fact, in some region, if you don't do eregbe, you have not done complete fidegbe lele. And in some places, you don't need to do eregbe. Once you do fidegbe lele and they've done your ishon egbe, that is complete. Some places, if they don't do kilongbe, Oko Orun, whatever for you, it is assumed that it's not complete. In other places, it is not mandatory. So would I now say that, okay, just because these people, this is their own belief system, this is bifa she filele fun won niyen, ba won egbe she filele fun won niyen. Oh God, I have to speak English. This is how Ifa has taught them, handed it over, passed it on, given instruction that this is how it has to be done. Does not mean that how it is done in another place is wrong. It's all correct. It depends on the person that is doing it for you. If they, based on that region, they even know what they're doing. That's what matters. Shikenan. You know? So I felt like that needed to be addressed and corrected because I can't remember what video, but I did mention that when you're doing fidegbelele, you have to shave your hair. It's not mandatory. You don't have to shave your hair. In fact, some people don't get their hair shaved. If you're Shango, Olokun, there's one other Orisha that doesn't like people shaving. Dada, Wuru Yale Yagyoko. If you have those 3 Orisha, of which me, I have all 3. All 3. Dada, Shango, Olokun on my head. Shaving my hair is gonna be a problem because they don't like their children's hair getting shaved. So for all the stuff that for anything I have to do, we've always had to ask, because if I will tell you whether you should or you shouldn't. Some people will insist that if you don't shave your head, you have not done the right thing. Even in Itefa, I beg to differ that the general belief is that you have to, and it is not wrong that you have to shave your head for Itefa. However, this simple clause that I just explained can make all the difference. So if you know, if it has come out in divination at any given time that, oh, you have so and so Orisha on your head, always make sure to ask. Tell the Babalawo or Iyanifa to ask before they put a razor on your head, else they'll be creating another problem for you that you have to deal with. And it might not even be their fault because they don't know. Listen, nobody knows it all. Nobody. I don't know it all. There is a lot I'm still learning. For as much as I know, there is a ocean of information out there that I still need to get to know. So always have that at the back of your mind. Guys, I can't cover everything. I think I'm definitely going to do a part 2 of this. And just look on go to the video section. You will see the list of videos. There are tons of information on my YouTube. Half of the questions y'all asked me, I've answered it in the videos, but some people are just so flipping lazy. They can't be asked. They don't want to watch the videos, so they just rather speak to me on the phone. You are keeping me from doing good works for people. Okay, so be kind. All right, peoples. I love you. All right. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy. Drink water, drop cup, mind your business, and look after yourself. Do divination and do your ebos. Don't be leaving things for too long. Don't let things get really bad before you take care of them. Always make sure that everything that needs to be done is done on time. All right? Take care of yourself. Stay blessed.